Okay, so this is about how to read this pie chart. We have 5 segments. They relate to something. We need to know what that is. And what they relate to are 24 children. This is important. So we're looking at 24 children. And it's obviously about their choice of activity. Okay, so it's kind of which activity do they prefer. And the pie chart represents this very well. It shows the 5 activities, and it shows of the 24 children, it's telling us, indirectly it's telling us how many prefer each. But at the moment, it doesn't actually say any numbers. So the point about reading a pie chart of this sort, often they're labelled with numbers, often they're labelled with percentages. But this is just saying, well, how can we go about figuring out what the numbers are on this? So the best way to start, it's kind of a bit of detective work, but if we take the theme park and we look at the angle, that to me looks pretty much like 90 degrees. And 90 degrees means a quarter of the circle. So I think we can say that a quarter of these 24 children preferred the theme park. So I would say that the theme park would be 6 children, 1/4 of 24. Once we've done that, it looks like the beach is slightly less. It's slightly less than the theme park. So I would say, as an estimate, this is probably 5 children, because it's less than a quarter. So we could say the beach is 5 children. If the beach is 5 children, it looks like we've got a pretty straight line going down there. So the park is probably 1 child. And if we're correct, then we should have a total of 12 so far, because we've covered half. Yes, we have. That's good. Then we've just got to split up the zoo and the woods. Now, the best estimate, so we know that the zoo plus the woods have got to equal 12. Looks to me like the woods, this angle here, is probably a third, because it just looks like a third. If you could imagine 3 of those blue parts should make the circle. So if we said it was a third, then the woods would be 8 children, and therefore the zoo would be 12 minus 8, which is 4. Let's just check that. The zoo is fewer than the beach, because the orange segment is less than the yellow segment. Yeah, that looks good. The woods is about a third. The theme park's probably a quarter. So if you were asked to estimate the numbers in each of those categories, I think that is a pretty good estimate. And we've kind of checked it by ensuring that it adds up to 24.